Hey everyone, my name is Marco with Board Game Revolution, and today we're taking a look at Mech Force International Defense League, designed by Bobby Hill and published by Motherload Games. Now this game is hitting Kickstarter on March 5th, and if you've ever felt like you've wanted to jump into a Jaeger just like in that movie Pacific Rim, where you're going and killing kaiju and competing to see who is the best Jaeger pilot there is, this is a game that you're going to want to consider that's on Kickstarter. But without me going and drumming up about the description of the game, let's get right into the components, mechanics, and gameplay. Mech Force is a dice-rolling, cooperative, worker placement game for 2 to 4 players, while the objective of the game is to kill as many monsters as possible to gather battle points and have the most battle points by the end of the last round. The game comes with a game board, 6 mech warrior tableaus, 8 personal goal cards, 96 mod tiles, 35 markers and tokens, 90 battle dice, 5 invasion dice, 1 airstrike dice, 1 cloth bag, and 50 resource cubes. Each turn of the game is comprised of 6 phases. In the reflect phase, warriors simultaneously refresh their exhausted skill cards. Next, the invasion begins by players rolling the invasion dice. Starting with North America, players will put down enemies in open spots. If there are no open spots, you'll move on to the next region following the arrows. The third phase is the forge phase, where players will restock the mods on the bays. The briefing room begins with players with the lowest battle points. Players will take their warriors and put it on any one open perk. Once a perk is taken, no other player can take that perk. The workshop phase is where players will buy mods and install them onto their mechs. You can find the cost of installing a mod here on the board. The black normal tiles cost 0 to install, while the advanced red tiles cost 4 to install. You cannot install a second tile without taking the mechanic perk. The mechanic perk allows you to purchase mods at a reduced price, as well as install a second mod. So to install an advanced mod, instead of the cost being 4, it is only 2. The yellow player will go first since they select the furthest left spot. They pick up the Charge Fist mod, pay the cost, and install it onto their board. Next, they'll pick up the dice associated with that mod and add it to their dice pool. Last, they'll move over the dial matching their new power and speed. Once all players have picked and either installed or discarded a mod, the battle is ready to begin. The turn order is in reverse order of the perks, so red will go first. They will check their tableau and see if any enemies are in their hometown. As you see here, red player's hometown is Asia, and we will check to see if any monsters are in Asia. If not, they can then attack any monster in any region. Once a monster has been chosen, you will then look at the engagement range and put the meeple at the engagement marker. Players will then roll all of their battle dice. Any dice that land on an R are a hit for ranged combat. All other markers or blanks are considered misses. If you ever need to re-roll your dice, you can exhaust your overdrive. Re-rolling the dice, the red player now has 2 more hits and 2 blocks. The M is still a miss. After the dice are rolled and mitigated, you then compare speeds. Since the red player has the higher speed, they will go first and do damage to the monster. Here the monster takes 4 damage, 3 to its shield, 1 to its health. The monster then attacks, doing 3 damage minus any shields you rolled. So here the red player will take 1 damage to its speed and power. The battles will continue this way until either the monster is dead, the mech is damaged, or the player disengages. Once all monsters are dead or all players return home, the turn is over and the next turn is ready to begin.
So
So let's talk about the highlights of Mech Force. The first thing I want to point out is the asymmetrical player boards. So these player boards actually have different powers that each individual player has. So you can decide how you want to play your game from the very start. Not only that, you can customize each mech to your own liking. There's a huge amount of customization to this game. So you can choose powers from like wave 1 and 2, which give you like more defense and more penetration, or you can go for things that are in wave 3, which are more about sustaining damage over time. It's all up to you, and you play the way you want to play. The next thing is that this is it's a competition style of a game. And what I mean there is that this game benefits from you competing against each other, but also cooperating with each other, because you're not only playing against other players, you're also playing against the game in itself. So if any monsters are at the end are left, we all lose. If there are any monsters that cause the threat to go all the way to up, then again we all lose. So it's in your best interest to, while you're competing against each other, to say, hey, I need your help, and you get a benefit for it. And then the last thing, if you're a dice rolling fan, this is the game for you. As you can see, there's tons of dice in this game. And not only that, you are building up your dice pools with, here's your attack, your defense, and again, it's up to you of how you want to play. Well, if this is a game that has piqued your interest, make sure to check out Mech Force International Defense League, designed by Bobby Hill, on Kickstarter March 5th. My name is Marco. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you next time.